Welcome back to Strictly Money. If your teenager is about to start their summer job, this could be the perfect opportunity for you to support them in building financial skills that will help them today and for years to come. Joining me now with her advice is Robin Taub, professional speaker and the author of the book, The Wisest Investment. Robin, great to have you on.
Thanks.
So something that I think both of us understand, I guess, about children, but I think especially teenagers, is that they are looking to their parents for money lessons. But there are still a lot of parents who shy away from discussing money. So what would you say to them?
Yes, for a lot of parents, it is still a taboo topic, and many feel like they don't have the time or the knowledge to teach their kids about money. But research shows that kids who are taught about money at home, whose parents speak to them about it, are more confident and optimistic about their financial futures and better prepared for the decisions they'll face. So I encourage parents to jump in and have the conversations with their kids. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything, and you and your kids can learn together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so for those parents who are thinking, hey, my child is going to work this summer or is looking for a summer job and I want to help them be better with their money, where do they start, Robin? What's the first thing that they can teach them?
The first thing is to get organized for the job search, and most teens will need a social insurance number in order to get a real job. This isn't babysitting anymore. So they do have to apply for a social insurance number, and that can be done online. And then they have to do their job search. Once they do have a job, probably one of the first things your child's going to be excited about is getting paid. But they may not know that their paycheck, their net paycheck isn't the same as their gross hourly wage or salary. So you might want to sit down with them and look at the pay stub together and explain to them that there are certain things that have been withheld from their pay, like possibly income tax and contributions to the Canada Pension Plan and employment insurance that will reduce that net or take home pay.
Yeah, I think some teenagers are pretty shocked when they see that, aren't they? Robin, what about setting goals? Let's talk about that and why that's important.
Right. So some kids are definitely working out of necessity to pay the bill, perhaps, for university or college. Other kids, their parents may just want them to work in order to know what it takes to earn a dollar and to understand the value of money. So for those kids, really for anybody, you want to set goals that are SMART. You've probably heard this acronym before: specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, realistic, and time framed. And those goals should be tied back to your personal values, the things in life that are most important. That way they're compelling and motivating.
Yeah, I find that, teens, they'll see money in their bank account and they get, it's exciting, right? And so they get tempted to spend everything that they make. What kind of opportunity do parents have, I guess, to talk to them about saving a portion? Things like pay yourself first.
Right, exactly. So yes, you're right. It is exciting when you have money coming in and there's all these things you want to have and do. And our kids are bombarded with media, traditional as well as social media, trying to convince them that their wants are really needs. So it's a great opportunity for parents to talk about the difference between needs, the must-haves for survival, and wants, the nice-to-haves. It's also really important for parents to talk to their kids about making money choices, because once you earn money, there are 4 things you can do with it. You can save it, as you mentioned, spend it, share it, or invest it. And I think that, again, having a savings goal will really help them feel motivated to put some aside towards saving or investing. And then they can decide how much they want to spend and how much they want to share or donate to help others along with their parents' guidance.
Yeah, you talked about investing. I think this is interesting. I know I started investing when I was 16, Robin, a little mutual fund, because that's what existed back there. And I didn't really know what I was doing. Do you think it's a good idea for them to start doing that, even though it might be a little bit?
Well, for sure, because if you're 18 or older in Canada, you can open a tax-free savings account,
Yeah.
and you can buy lots of different securities, as you mentioned, mutual funds or exchange traded funds, stocks or bonds. So, and because it's tax-free, the growth within the account will compound and grow that much faster.
Yeah.
So, if your teenager has some interest in investing, I have some information in my book that will help explain some of these securities to a younger person, or maybe they're getting it in school if they're in an investment club, or taking some kind of an investment course. But definitely starting early, as you know, at 16 is key, because you have decades ahead of you to take advantage of the power of compounding
Yeah.
to grow your
Hold
wealth.
your thought, Robin, because we've run over. I'm going to
Okay.
pick it up when we come back. Welcome back. Robin, before the break, we were talking about investing and an opportunity for kids to maybe invest when they get their first job. Um, is this a good time for them to learn about power of compounding? Because I think that's a terminology that a lot of people don't understand.
Yes. So, first of all, compound interest is when you earn interest on your interest as well as your original principal. And it's so powerful because it leads to exponential growth. Albert Einstein even called it the eighth wonder of the world. So, for kids, especially because they have decades ahead of them as investors, a very long time horizon, it's really important for them to start investing early and often.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about credit cards. Robin,
Okay.
in your view, do you think teens understand how they work, and what do they need to know?
No, I think most teens are pretty naive about how credit cards work, simply because if they're under the age of majority, then the only card they would have would be a supplementary card on their parents' account, in which case they don't see the bill, they don't pay the bill. So they don't really understand that you're talking about borrowing money. It's buy now, pay later in a sense. Whereas a debit card, which they may be more used to from when they open their youth accounts, that's buy now, pay now. The money comes out of your account right away. So it's really important for parents to sit down with their teenagers and explain how a credit card works. Go so far as to show them your own statement, and the different transactions and how they all add up to one large amount that's due on a certain date, and how to use the card responsibly, you should be paying off the entire balance on the due date in order to avoid interest, penalties, fees, things like that. Do not just pay the minimum balance.
You talked about the supplementary card, and I think this is where it does get interesting, right? Because if they do get their first job, do you think this is an opportunity for parents to say, you know what, we're gonna try to get you your own card, or like maybe it's a debit card, or even something like Coho, which is a prepaid credit card. Is this
Mhm.
something that parents should think about doing?
I think for most parents, they've probably encouraged their preteen to open a youth account. Like after they've outgrown a piggy bank, it's often the next step is you would open a youth account at a bank, which normally does come with a debit card. So another teachable moment arises there, because you can explain what the benefits of having your money in a bank are. Safe and secure. Uh, Generally, you can earn interest, although youth accounts pay very little. Um, but it's just, again, another opportunity to explain how banks work and how the debit card works. Every time they use it to make a purchase or take out cash, is coming right out of their account. So once they've mastered that, then you can move on to credit cards, because younger kids may be a little confused. They can both, be piece of plastic or on your phone, but they are very different animals.
Okay. Robin, we only have 45 seconds left. For those
Okay.
new grads who are off to university or college, what tips do you have for parents to guide their kids?
I would say that you want to sit down with your child and do a budget. It doesn't have to be complicated, crazy Excel spreadsheet or anything. A simple budget that deals with the line items that they're likely to face when they go to university. So rent, food, transportation, entertainment. figure out who's paying for what are you covering? Obviously there's tuition. What are you willing to cover as parents or able to cover? And what are you expecting your child to cover out of their own summer earnings or student loans, etc. So it's really important to do that financial planning around that big milestone of going to university, especially if they're going out of town.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really appreciate your advice today. Thanks, Robin.
Thanks, Saijal.
Robin Taub is the author of The Wisest Investment, which, by the way, is available on Amazon. So I urge you parents to pick that up. Thanks again. Well, that wraps up this edition of Strictly Money. As I said earlier, I am a fierce advocate for women's financial well-being. And so if finances intimidate you, I urge you to join my Money Masterclass for Women. It's free, and we have women from all age groups and life stages. So register today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.